Hey guys, welcome to Nerd episode 13. Today we'll be talking about YouTube and rules that they set up. We'll go update on our Erase series and what we're watching, and we're going to be talking about Nintendo and not keeping their mouth shut.
Well, to be fair, it wasn't Nintendo not keeping their mouth shut.
Yeah, it was still Nintendo. Someone had to get splapped somewhere though.
Some very mean person in Nintendo's workforce.
Yeah. Welcome guys to Nerd again, where we talk about life, anime, and games. This is TN. We have Zach.
Hey guys.
We have Adam.
Yo.
And we're going to start out with YouTube and BS of the world of copyright, the fair usage, and all that fun crap.
You forgot to introduce the bag of shrimp.
Hi, bag of shrimp.
The bag of shrimp should not make noise, so that's why I didn't introduce it. Okay, guys. Well, in the past few weeks, we've all been seeing it with a lot of creative content made in YouTube that a lot of them are getting strikes or getting hit by copyright. And, it's to many people that I bet you a lot of people watch just because of what they do. We've seen it on shows. We've seen like Team 4-Star got hit by it.
Mm-hmm.
Nostalgia Critic got hit by it.
Anybody who's pretty much almost super popular is getting hit by it.
Or being really creative in what they do.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it's an annoying thing, truthfully, because honestly, we go to YouTube a lot, and everyone goes to YouTube. It's the third most used searched item and typed
What's
in.
the second?
I think Yahoo still. I don't know. I know Google's still first. Maybe Facebook.
Probably.
Maybe it's one of those, we'll have to see. But it all stems from either people being. Well, firstly, it always stems from one is legitimate reasons. Second is trolls. Third is idiots. Fourth is bots and things like that. Just, watching videos and saying something that they don't like and just hitting a strike or getting a mark on it. So they actually lose the ability to produce what they can and make their own original content. And this could be from things like doing reviews. Honestly, we watch a lot of reviews. We watch people give critiques, opinions, and ideas. That's how we find out information about stuff.
I think YouTube is just micromanaging and being dumb.
Of course, YouTube's micromanaging. How many people put videos on there? And
With millions.
Yeah, and when they put videos on there, how do you say? How do you organize and see which ones are legal and which ones are ones that are ripped and modified slightly? So the people get views and make money off of it.
And how do you monitor the number of videos that are being uploaded in that regular amount of time?
Mm-hmm.
Think about how many videos got posted in the time it took me to say that.
Yeah, a lot.
Oh yeah, and it's a young system because how old is YouTube? We found this out yesterday.
I thought it was like 2003 or 2005.
I think 2005, close to that. Because you know what actually helped YouTube become what it is. Well, the video that blew up YouTube first, that made it popular, made it used as it is now.
It was a cat video.
No, actually, it was
Are
not.
you sure?
No.
Hang on, let me think. Not Clay World. Wait. No. I don't know. What?
The first video that actually got YouTube big hits.
Wait, G.I. Joe PSAs.
No.
Dang it.
It was the Super Bowl halftime show with
the nip slip?
Yeah.
Ah, that makes sense.
That's what helped because after that,
Did they copyright that?
yeah, can you find that? Don't look it up. Yeah, but that's what. Yeah, because remember that was when it was young and fledgling, and when that happened, how many people went? I have to see this.
Yeah.
Where can you do it? YouTube's like, hey, we got it. And that's what it is. And now with, like I said, content creator, we've seen a lot of companies make a prominent setup at YouTube, and that's where they get the videos. And that's where they put them up. And that's where they get the money because they have advertisement. They have the people who retain and watch the videos. And that's how they make their money now. That's how a lot of people make a livelihood.
I agree they should probably be watching out for what they're doing if they're making money.
Mm-hmm.
But, for the people who aren't making money, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
So I just wanted to clarify something.
Yeah.
You said that the thing that made YouTube big was the nip slip.
Yeah.
And one of the top videos on YouPorn only a couple of years ago was a video game.
Yeah. The world's a weird thing, man.
Fallout 4's trailer was the biggest thing
On
for
Pornhub.
2 full weeks
Yeah.
on a porn site.
Yeah.
And YouTube, the one that doesn't really allow for nudity,
Well, artistic.
became big.
They'll allow artistic.
Doesn't really
Yeah.
allow. Yeah.
I was about to say, I've seen some interpretive dance that has a lot of nudity in it.
Watch music videos that has a lot of things. That
Okay.
I think you can watch some massage videos.
But you get the irony.
Yeah, you get the irony
Yeah.
of it. Well, okay, let's talk about a brief summary of what's happening. Basically, we talk about odd things, but basically the idea is a lot of publishers are putting out videos, but they are getting strikes or bans from them. And there's a rule of 3 strikes. You get 3 strikes, you're completely off. You're not on YouTube anymore. And a lot of times when they do it, there is no proper channel. Like there's a channel you can go through, but it's not concise. It's not really structured well enough to actually help them, because if they get strike, they have to send something out saying why they shouldn't be, and they have to wait for a response from the original striker usually. Striker can answer or can, not. And if they don't answer, yeah, they get the site back, but still that's time away from profit from the videos. They are limited to what they can put on there. They're limited by time. They're limited by resources. So they lose a lot of the ability to produce.
Which in turn, they lose a lot of money.
Income, yeah.
Yep.
Well, the system is highly flawed, but actually just with a few minor changes, you can update a lot of how it's functioning. For example, if you have a successful defense against a strike claim or any form of claim really, then that video should be placed into a area where it doesn't have the ability to be hit for a strike. If it is hit with something that's bigger, like someone has a full-on claim, there needs to be a secondary department that would go there. If that goes through and fails, then that video is pretty much going to be placed into an area where the automatic system doesn't register strikes. They have to do a claim specifically with YouTube, saying, hey, this video actually has something. Here's something documenting proof saying that this is the case. You have the automatic system, which is done for the 90% of all videos, probably even more, and it functions properly for what it's supposed to do. And then when that fails, because you have that system already in place for multiple videos having strikes, then once you've successfully defended against a troll and proven that it's part of fair use, it would then go down to they have to formally place that complaint with YouTube and it be done with a representative.
Okay,
would
so
that be more expensive on YouTube's part? Yes, but it would be more functional.
So YouTube is obviously not doing that. What are they doing? Is it just they're just going through with bots trying to find copyrights?
Yes.
Yeah,
Bots are the first
Like the
one.
obvious?
Yeah.
The obvious copyrights?
And then the other ones just come down to users
trolls and
placing,
people.
Yeah,
And we don't know if it's trolls. Sometimes it could be legitimate.
yeah.
But if it's trolls or someone pissed off, they could just say, I don't like this. Here's why it's copyright. And they'll just put
They just
mark it.
report them. And
Yep.
Okay, so why is YouTube doing this all of a sudden? Like, why is it?
It's not
No,
new.
it's not all of a sudden.
It's just growing into something
just-
huge.
It's just like if you get more and more of these strikes or claims and stuff like that, you're going, okay, what's a better way to just get them all out so we can not worry? Because remember, thousands upon thousands of videos. I forgot how much it said. Like every second, there's like 10,000 videos.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then don't forget just how many times that we've had Team 4-Star go off.
Oh, several times.
They're on what, their fourth strike? I think they said on the last.
on the last video, they said fourth, and they got their channel taken down.
And it's annoying because honestly, when they get the channel taken down, they still have a website. They still have other ways, but YouTube is one of the biggest means to get out there. I mean, everyone goes to. I mean,
It's the most popular.
yeah, almost everyone who has internet and wants to watch videos will most likely go to YouTube to find the video. And
Or judging off of Adam's logic, Pornhub.
Huh?
If you want to watch video games, you go to Pornhub.
No, children under the age of whatever, don't listen to that. But it also means that when they get stopped, they have to stop everything almost, because a lot of these people are single people doing their own production, doing their own work. You have to stop all that. You have to go find out what's going on. You have to go send the information, and you have to wait. and you can't really create because you have to wait to see, oh, everything's fine now. Now I could work on it.
And that could take weeks, months.
And they can't, and that's either stopping production, so they have to stop work, make less videos, make the less income, or still not make the work but not get paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of flaws, and you have to, it's a young system, truthfully. I mean, it's a really young system. About 10 years now? 10 years old is YouTube, we're going to say?
About 11.
Yeah, so it's still a young thing. I mean, and what do you expect with something growing as exponentially as YouTube has and being such a forefront to that? I mean, and the catch is there's a lot of things that they're trying to improve, and it's owned by Google. YouTube is owned by Google.
When did that happen again?
A few years ago.
I thought it would just recently happened.
Yeah. That was several years ago. They tried, Google is trying to own a lot of industry. I think they tried buying Twitch, but that was bought by Amazon. And, with that, and it's one of their umbrellas out of their alphabet. Actually, it's not called Google anymore. It's the Alphabet. It's called Alphabet. I forgot.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because they want to be they want Alphabet to be the main corporate, and then Google's one of its umbrella pieces.
Huh.
Yeah.
Neat.
Mm-hmm. But, and, you could see this all the time. If you go to a lot of your major reviewers, and that's the catch. One of the reasons why we're bringing this up is because a lot of things that are done, parodies, reviews, on review sites, it's giving opinions. It may show clips of the movie or the comic or the video game or anything like that, but it's trying to do that to give information to the people watching. I mean, when you watch a video that reviews something, they'll usually use trailer pieces, images, and little snippets of not the movie.
Audio, probably.
Yeah, but it's not like they're playing the whole movie in front of you. They're just giving their opinions and why, and make it satirical, make it reasonable, or understand why they say it this way. And that helps a lot of companies, actually, because reviews, even if it's a bad review, it's still someone watching it, giving their opinion, and then you watch it, and you may want to go, this is really bad, it's good, or, this is really interesting, maybe I do want to go see it. And you will go try to find it. It's not like, and then you have the people that do the legal things, like basically take a movie or take a whole show or whatever and just crop it, expand it, crop it, flip it, and play it.
Which we watched one of those last night.
Oh, gosh. No, I didn't.
Yeah, you were on your computer.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to another element to it as well, outside of just the illegality and the different segments there, when you're talking about negative reviews having benefit, I actually was talking with a friend the other day. A good example would be the Fantastic Four movie, the one that so far nobody has liked, outside of a few outliers. And I've seen where there was the honest trailer for it, and that was humorous. But I never really had interest in seeing the movie. The negative reviews didn't tell me, hey, you want to go see this movie. But one of my friends was like, I had no interest in seeing it, but I watched it because I had to see if it was as bad as everyone said. Surprisingly, it was worse.
Now, what movie was this?
Fantastic Four.
The newest one?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. But see, that was a way to
But he
sort
went
of...
and saw it
Yeah.
because he saw the trailers and was like, that doesn't, no. And then he heard really bad things about it. He's like, I want to see if it's that bad.
And it was.
Yeah. So even if it's bad review, people are still going to go and see it because of that, because they want to see. It can't be that bad, can it?
They want to judge it on their own. Like, they have people telling it. And, I mean, honestly, you have to think about this. When we had movie reviewers like Siskel and Ebert, they gave their honest opinion. They gave thumbs up and thumbs down. But the critics, they're one opinion. You just want to get some information out of them and see what they saw, what people see that may be towards what you want to see or your same opinions. And if it isn't, you're like, well, I sort of understand what they're saying, but I want to still try this out to see what it is. Because honestly, if you were told every time everything's bad or everything's good, you wouldn't have a choice to it. It's just a way to see that choice of one person's view and then go and make your own decision out of it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Nowadays, like, with the fair use, that means they could use the small clippets. They could use small pieces. But since they're using that, people don't want the bad reviews. Hollywood worries about not getting people into the seats. And doing this way, they'll figure, they won't be able to, no one will say anything bad, so people will still go, which doesn't really help because we'll find ways, we'll find their information. At least this way, it will be out somewhere where people can click about it and go, okay, I'll watch this few minutes, see what they were actually saying.
I liked what Team 4-Star said. It's a different day and age, and the copyright laws need to either be, redone or revamped or, I thought that was really cool that, they noticed, they realized, hey, that's for when stuff wasn't as big as what it is, or YouTube wasn't around and, public wasn't using it as much. And then, they could go take it to the court system and file it easily. And, now there's so much that they need to redo the copyright system or the fair use system.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of that's updated. I mean, think about how easy it is to create a studio, even if it's not in a studio. You can do a lot of editing on your computer that you didn't have access to even 10 years ago.
Well, yeah, like we have here. We're just inside my house and just a little bit of equipment here and there, and we have a podcast.
People are editing videos and photos on their phones nowadays.
Yeah.
It's not the most efficient way to go about it, but you can do it.
Snapchat.
Yeah.
You can do some stuff on Snapchat. See, there we go.
And also a funny thing to think about this is too, that it's usually the main focus of who's being hit and stuff usually are shows and movies. Like, look at the gaming industry.
Parody people.
Yeah. Look at the gaming industry, though. They do Let's Plays. Like, I do Let's Plays. I play Twitch. I use Twitch to play video games. I stream it live. They've seen the advantage of it. Because they know that if they have to, like, I do it on a PlayStation 4. So, on the system, when I stream, there'll be scenes where they'll cut out the cutscenes. Like, major cutscenes, they'll cut out. And honestly, it'll be a blue screen, and I could be just talking. But the gameplay and most of the other scenes will usually play because they want people to see it. And, seeing someone interact with it helps. Because they see, okay, this is how the gameplay works. This is how that is. I mean, this is at least for Sony and Xbox. Nintendo's is a bit different.
Nintendo's its own breed of thing.
Yeah. But they know how to do this, and they know how to accept it. And actually, they give the advantage. They actually go, hey, even though they have a lot of strict rules of what to say, they say, hey, play our game. Review it. Say that, we're the ones. Then you have to actually say they're sponsoring us to play this game, and we're going to play this game. So they actually have to be honest to us about it. They have to say, hey, we're being sponsored by this gaming company to play this game, and we're going to play this game.
But at least they're giving a cameo out, you know? At least they're letting them actually use it and produce it and help promote their games,
Yes,
know?
And even if it's a little weird or a little wonky, they'll say stuff like that, and they'll be honest. But seeing it from someone like that, or seeing it from people playing that you watch, you understand it. You're like, okay, this looks fun. I want to try out. With movies, I guess it's a little trickier because it's a whole visual thing, I guess. It's all just watching, like the movie or the anime or the show.
Or scenes.
Or scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
and I mean, there's actually a lot to it as well, because with the changing dynamic of how things work, more people are inclined to stream Netflix as opposed to wait for the video to come in, whereas that wasn't quite the case, say, I think even as short as 5 years ago. A lot more people had the videos coming in, and then before that, you had rental services in actual locations. You had Blockbuster before it died out. You had Hollywood Video before it died out. And that was how you watched movies at home, was you either rented them there, or you went down to a local business and purchased the actual video.
And nowadays we have, Redbox?
There's a family video.
Yeah, it's still a family video.
But yeah, I mean, those are very local. I don't think I've seen them in any other states.
And you know what's really funny? I remember those days when we had those, and you would go to get the VHS and stuff like that, and they tried ways to make sure you couldn't copy over those. And you still did. You just had two VCRs. You just put one in.
I never did that. I actually just watched them.
Really?
The thing I never really did was rewind them, though.
Oh. Because I would usually... My parents would go, okay, we'll go rent a movie at wherever. We'll just go rent it and say, okay, here's a cassette, just record it. And we just record it because that's what you did. You had to, that's what you did to save money. You would get two VCRs, set it up, and record. It'd be crappier, but it would be there.
How do you rewind a DVD?
You just hit rewind.
DVD.
Yeah.
I don't... Why are we... But, I mean... and
it's a joke for when DVDs first came out.
I know.
And now you're making me angry.
Did you know they actually made a DVD rewinder, and you can buy them on YouTube, on eBay?
Yeah.
They are hilarious.
I figured they would be.
Now, I'm assuming it's nothing more than something that spins counterclockwise.
It literally
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have to pull it up while you guys are
Oh
talking.
gosh, but all in all, it's just if you want more information about this, there's a lot of videos out there that explain it in more detail than we can, and people who are actually affected by it who can really tell how it's affecting them. And I mean, honestly, I think the hashtag is WTFU. Where's the fair use?
Yeah. I would actually highly recommend 2 specific videos that go into a really good short version for it that gives the basics for it, and what could help is definitely Team 4 Stars. They're very eloquent with it. They give the basis, and they don't really go into a whole lot of opinion. And then another one that's really good is Channel Awesome's video on it. That has a lot more information. It's a bit longer, but if you're interested in the deeper dynamics for it, they're going to be the best for it.
Sorry, we're getting distracted by the water faucet from outside.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay.
She's not opening it all the
Well,
way.
from one type of entertaining media to another one that's more physical, VR.
Yay, VRs. That's what's going to get me back into gaming.
Well, VR, have you seen the price ranges now on most of the VR
Yeah,
items?
it'll go down.
Actually,
I'm
it's
hoping.
fairly approachable.
$600, $800?
Depends on what you're looking at.
Well,
There's-
that's true. You got the cardboard one that's like $100.
you can get one that's
Cardboard.
for
You can actually you can find a template on Google for free.
What, the cardboard Google one?
Yeah, you can find the
I know,
templates.
I know.
I'm actually going to be doing that sometime this
So
week.
we're gonna come in. You're gonna be wearing a cardboard headset on your head. Well, okay, this is how serious it's been with this because this year is going to be the start of it. I mean, we already have confirmed Oculus Rift is coming out this year. I think
What was the price on that one?
600.
600.
The
Does that come with
HIV
games?
Yes, the Oculus will have a lot more games than any of the other ones because it started its production in 2013.
Now, are people who made games or converted games, are they going to be in cahoots with them, with Oculus?
Depends if they made a contract or a deal with them.
Cahoots. That's a really weird word. I don't know why that was the word I used.
Because you like 1920s jazz. No, not 1920s.
Sounds more redneck.
Cahoots.
Cahoot.
Sounds old school. That's what I was going with. But then you have another set that's $800, but each one's unique. With the Oculus, let me see what the other one's called, but
Wasn't the Samsung one?
No.
Or is it the
Samsung one's only 100. But
it is?
you need the proper phone for it.
Yeah, you
so
need the phone for that
That
one.
adds the extra.
which phone?
Any Galaxy 6 or above, I think the Note 5 also works with it.
yeah. And with the Oculus, the one reason why it's 600, it has a lot more games. I think it has at least 20 times more games. It has quite a bit of difference in games than any other of the systems, but it's just a headset and a Xbox controller. So that one's more of a sit down playing the game, just wearing the headset, moving your head around and stuff like that. The ones you see mostly on React videos and items like that. The next one up is, I'm trying to find it. It's one that's $800, has a less amount of games, but it actually will come with that's the Oculus. There it is. The HTC Vive. That one comes
The
with
Vibe?
Yeah. That one is headset. It has a less amount of games, but it has like the glove controllers.
Oh, geez.
What?
The, what's it called?
The Wii?
No, the old glove.
Power Glove?
Power glove.
Let's not talk about that. Sony's actually trying to trademark that.
wait. Sony's trying to trademark Power Glove?
I think they're trying to make something for the VR for that.
They're not going to use the word Power Glove, though.
I think it
Oh,
is.
God, I hope they do make a power glove for the Oculus Rift or something.
No, they're making something similar to that. That's going to cost like $200 something more dollars. So
I'm so going to get into VRs. This is going to be so much fun.
They're
As-
also doing that, but that's why right now it's less expensive than Oculus. They don't have the glove set items. The
Okay.
the HTC does, but it has less amount of games. I think it only has less than 50 really.
Yeah,
I
but
mean-
which games, though? Because
Look,
it would depend.
well, the games right now, it's going to take some time to build it up, and with this one, it's not been given to a lot of developers. So they have the HTC has not been given to a lot of developers, so they haven't worked on it. With, as I said, Oculus has had since 2013 with development kits, so it has a lot more work up with it.
Did Facebook ever buy Oculus?
Yes, they own Oculus.
Okay, that's what I thought. I wonder how they're going to incorporate that.
That's what actually a lot of people are worried about that because they worry that Facebook has to be one of the used items on that constantly.
Like, wait, you mean when you're playing a game, it has to upload all of the content to a Facebook account?
That's what people are worried about. Supposedly they said no,
Just
that's
create
not
a
true.
fake Facebook account. Like, that's nothing to really worry about. Just don't log in with any of your own actual credentials.
Yeah, well, you know how people are. They still want the privacy, even though they know that you don't really have it anymore.
If you want the privacy, don't have a Facebook.
That's what I mean. Like, that's the thing. People want
Don't have an email.
Yeah, people want the privacy, but I mean, who has it anymore? Really, you have internet. You use internet. You've already given up most of your privacy anyway.
All right, so Adam, if you played a VR game, what VR game would it be that you would want to play?
That's a really vague question. The answer really comes down to either nothing or a puzzle game.
Have you seen the Oculus Rift puzzle game? Ooh, I'll have to find it for you and show you later. But I would want to play either like a Gundam game or Grand Theft Auto.
If you give me a real world controller, something that is
felt
tactile, not a touchscreen, not motion control, nothing even remotely close to the Wii,
Something mechanical feeling.
something that has a button on it.
Like they are with the Oculus, with the Xbox controllers.
Yeah, something like that, but probably not an Xbox controller. I don't like those. The circular buttons feel weird in my finger, but whatever. No, I can deal with motion controls. I've played some better
They're not as
motion
accurate,
control.
though.
Yeah,
And they're laggy.
yeah, and it
Especially like with the Kinect. You know, it's
Yeah.
you have to slow your it's gotta sense you.
yeah, and it's not responsive in any way, shape, or form to how you would want that kind of control to be.
So if you could choose one game.
It would definitely be puzzle because that's the only thing that would be good for controls and have any enhancement to the pseudo 3Dism of that type of interface. I wouldn't enjoy a platformer because that requires timing and precision. Precision being the bigger part of that. I wouldn't want an action game because that requires timing and precision. I wouldn't want a fighting game because that requires timing and precision.
Man, I really thought that his game would be the Sonic Dreams. If you guys don't know what we're talking about,
We'll get that up someday.
yeah, we need to post that up. He played Sonic Dreams and hated it. Tian, what would be your one video game that you would want to play on the VR?
I would
Say a racing game because that requires timing and precision.
No, I don't like racing games. If I had to say, closest thing would maybe be a first-person shooter.
Like kind of like a Call of Duty or
I
Halo.
guess because
or,
that one it would get the motion. That's all I could think of because all you do is if you get a controller or anything is push a button or hold something and push
if you have physical object, that's totally fine as long
Yeah.
as there's not some kind of interface lag from where you're looking around
Yeah.
versus how you're holding the gun and shooting.
Yeah.
But outside of that, without a controller, and then trying to read inputs, unless we get very vast updates from what we have with the Wii, which, to be fair, the Wii has been out for quite a while.
Yeah.
So if the Oculus Rift or Oculus or all of this VR technology has
crap,
taken
reminds
that
me.
and then expanded greatly, then sure, fine, great. Then I wouldn't mind having some form of motion controls. But at the same time, definitely wouldn't want a platformer. Wouldn't want a fighting game.
I got one that may work. Horror game. Like Outlast and the ones that
love horror games on
because you
VRs.
don't control. All you do is walk now. There's a lot of them that you don't do actions. You just maybe open a door and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
like,
some of them are like
and that's all you
puzzle-like.
could do is just because
Those
I know-
would be
yeah.
incredible for Let's Play.
Yeah, see those I think would be
Yes.
because honestly I know the HTC uses a camera too. That's why it has the controls. So all you do would be just hold your hand in front of the camera and it would just act like that's opening the door, and you would just move by like just stepping in place and turn your head. So that's a better way of it being controlled because you won't have to do anything that needs precision or ability to focus on. You're basically just absorbing what you're surrounded by, and that will give you more of a experience, because that way you'll just have the sound, the headset, see the atmosphere, and that's what you're doing. You just take in the atmosphere of the game.
Now, I've always taken advantage of the fact that the Wii doesn't require you to actually be standing or doing anything really dramatic.
The Wii Fit.
Well,
That's actually no, you can cheat on that too.
Yeah, you can cheat on
Actually, I did cheat on that.
Yeah, I did too.
So,
And that's what I was saying. It reminded me. I was like, I need to weigh in on my Wii Fit.
yeah, I'll just put my hands on it.
5 years ago.
Yeah. But no, anyway, sitting down for a dance game, things like that are just, hey, move the Wiimote to the left a little bit. Move the Wiimote to the right a little bit.
Yeah.
Waggle it some.
Yep.
It's like, okay, cool. This is totally not at all how this should work. But anyway, outside of that, or Legend of Zelda, Skyward Sword. All right, what do you need to do? Swing your sword or swing the Wiimote like it's a real sword. How about I just wiggle it to the side a little bit? Cool, still works. I mean, to be fair, that was actually pretty decent. It was inconsistent with some of it, or a lot of it. Trying to stab was more frustrating than anything. But anyway, going to Oculus form, if you have it where it's slightly more responsive, then I won't be able to shift my head left and right slightly to walk forward. Is that what we're getting at?
Well, I mean, honestly, it will have a camera, so all you do is stand in place and just move your legs. So that's
Okay.
less work.
I could still sit down if I just need to move my legs.
Yeah.
It's
all
just
you could-
positioning the camera.
Yeah, you just have to position the camera, and then to open the door, you'll just have to put your hand up and
Yeah.
it'll do that loading type thing. So see, that could be a possibility for
Yeah.
you, because then you can move your head and just do that, and you'll be good. But there's also a lot of other VRs. As I said, PlayStation is coming out with a VR this year.
I will find a way to make that work, even if I have to sit in a spinny chair.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to get one, I would say PlayStation, because I play my PS4 a lot. I think it already has a built-in system, because they already have something working with it, which is the Sony PlayStation.
Does it have a camera on the outside?
Yeah. I have.
Okay.
You could put a camera. Most likely, they'll use a camera for spatial, because that will be a way to measure where the person is, so they can watch the motion.
Because I really can't wait for them to do. I mean, there's a commercial, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's real or not, but there's a kind of like a laser tag place that they have they build these pylons and walls, and they put these VR headsets on you, and it's got a camera on the outside, and you can go around holding a gun and playing tag, but it throws a fake wall on these walls, and so it looks like you're in an alien environment, or you can choose your world, but it's all set up, and if you touch it, it feels like it's there. I don't know if PlayStation's going to do that or not, where you can play inside your house and go around shooting people.
I don't know, but it'll be
Fake
interesting to see. But at least with that
people.
one, you'll have the controller, because you'll have the PlayStation controller, or you'll have a camera most likely. So I think that will be sort of a best of both worlds in that aspect. And hopefully it's cheaper than the rest of them. I'm hoping that it's like towards the $350 range, like almost as much as a PlayStation 4 you could buy.
You know what I'm finding really humorous about this?
What?
The price seems really high for it, but does anybody remember their launch price for the PS3?
So like, well, it depends.
What was it, like 900?
What version?
The cheapest version, the launch price.
Wasn't it $399 for like the 20 gig?
If you're thinking about the PS4, you're much closer. The PS3 launched at $600.
Wow.
Yeah, but that was for the lowest one, because then you had different hard drive updates for each one, didn't you? You had like a 40.
You had some that were more expensive at the base model.
Yeah.
What is the want to go out and buy that right as it comes out? Like,
Well,
why do
it
people
was that
do
expensive for a good number of months.
well, I mean, like, why do people do that though? Like in general, it's
If
like,
there was a Smash
a new
Brothers-
car.
well-
I'm going to go out and buy a $50,000 car because it's brand new. When you can just wait like 10 years and it'll be like not even an eighth of the price.
Okay.
And
Here's the huge difference between what you're talking about.
Let me
there.
rechange that because
Okay.
I know what you're about to do. So you wait for a PlayStation, or let's say a new console coming out, the NX, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so let's just say hypothetical, it's $600. Okay,
Okay.
it comes out $600. How many people are going to go out and buy it immediately?
Depends. If I'm correct and they launch Smash Brothers along with it, or
Oh,
at the very
well,
least
okay.
really early on.
Let's just say
So there's no game on it at all.
No game
It's
at
just
all.
the system.
Let's
Yeah.
say it
And
was
there's
the
nothing that it does except sit there as a brick because there's not a game on there.
Well,
like the
you
Wii
can-
U.
No, the Wii U actually had some launch titles.
What launch title do you remember?
Billy Rayman Origins was one of them. Zombie U was one of the draws to it, and that
now
was
it's
about
on.
it.
Yeah, yeah. That's you.
But
anything-
the Nintendo Wii U also didn't launch at $400+. The Wii U actually launched it very close to what it's priced at now.
What is that?
I believe it's 300 or just a little under now.
But yeah, I've never understood that. Like okay, I don't own any PlayStations anymore except just the second one. But I would love to have them. But I mean, I can go out and buy a PlayStation 3 and play it and probably enjoy it just like as much as I would if I bought it when it was brand new.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few differences there, and I'll explain the why and how.
Okay.
So for you enjoy the specific games that you do in a very limited capacity.
True.
When you were really into video games, which I've never seen you be, but
there was a time once.
yeah, but when you were young, and
when I was more alone.
I thought that was what you spent the closet time for.
I'm not
Anyway.
following that joke.
Let's just leave it there.
Take a magazine to the closet with you, find a sock, alone.
No, I just stayed in my bedroom. Sometimes the front room, outside,
You were
restaurants.
Continue with the story. Continue with the story.
Don't let it progress.
Oh God.
Sorry
Anyway.
for the visuals.
But anyway, no. When it comes down to it, you would enjoy playing a, let's say, Ace Combat 4 as much as you enjoy playing Ace Combat 5. The differences in the
Yes.
mechanics between the two would be so minuscule you wouldn't notice them.
Correct.
Whereas for me, or anybody who plays games on a regular basis, the differences between Ace Combat 4 and Ace Combat 5, I imagine, would be staggering. A better example, because I can speak on it personally, would be Smash Brothers. I can tell you fine detail difference between each Smash Brothers game. Playing each of them feels like playing an entirely different game.
Does that frustrate you?
No. I have my preferences.
That's why he's looking forward to the new one.
Yeah. Well, and to be fair, I actually did get over my disgust towards Smash 4. It does have its elements of pseudo RNG, its frustrating inconsistencies, but those aside, the controls are actually really smooth. The balancing system is actually done to a point where knowing the character matchup and knowing your opponent weighs in a whole lot more than a lot of really precise input.
I've got a question. Not to interrupt you, even though I'm interrupting you.
That's fine.
Are we going to play our Nerd Stump game today?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Just
Yeah.
making sure.
Did you
Okay.
not think of a character again?
Nope.
Okay, well, you think on that while I explain more about why people would want to buy a video game system
Well,
early on.
Yeah, it depends. As I said, he's going to explain his way. I'll explain my way. We all have different views. His is very similar to mine, but mine's still slightly different.
Yeah, everyone's going to have a different reason
Yeah.
for why they would want to buy a launch system.
Yeah.
You have no reason to at all.
Yeah.
Because you could be playing something on the PS2 and have as much fun as something
Playing it
on the
PS4.
PS4.
Well, on the PC.
Yeah, which is arguably,
Very different.
yeah. I cannot stand PC controls.
I love PC controls.
Yeah, when it comes down to mouse-based controls, it just does not work. I need something in my hands. I grew up with a controller in my hand.
Well, I love joysticks.
Oh, like the
Like flying games.
Yeah.
But yet you can still use them for other games too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can use a joystick when it comes down to flight controls. That's just fine, and it's a controller in my hand.
It's still a controller.
Well, trust
but
me. No.
No,
Don't get me
yeah.
wrong. I love controllers in my hand because there's
he
a
just-
lot more
he
movement.
just doesn't like keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, like
Oh.
the keyboard, because I'm not holding it, and then placing my hand with a whole bunch of keys. It's very different. I'm not in a stationary position where this button is this number of centimeters from where my finger is at all times. Like
Yeah.
I can always adjust exactly.
So for you, if you had to be on a VR system with a mouse and buttons,
No,
that
he's-
would be very difficult.
No. That's why he's happy Oculus comes with a controller.
Yeah,
He's like, or he would deal with the wearing the gloves because that's at least something in his hands where he can move.
well,
and
and
act.
yeah, and
And
let me actually make sure this is very clear. I am not interested in VR technology.
what?
There is nothing that draws me to it at all. It's the same as 3D. It adds an element.
I don't
of,
like 3D though.
I don't like 3D, but I
Um,
can't see 3D anymore.
It adds an element to it that doesn't do anything for me. Like when I play on my 3DS, occasionally I'll turn it on and I'll be like, oh, cool, and then turn it off. It doesn't add or enhance to the gameplay whatsoever.
But there's a slight difference between why I think you wouldn't like it, why other people would.
Oh, yeah, no. I think a lot of people will absolutely love it. But the way that I play and the way that I analyze doesn't get me anything from the way that the Oculus will.
Yeah,
I
that's why-
think that watching movies on it will be nice. Throw on a pair of headphones, block out literally everything so that you're only seeing the scene in front of you. That sounds enjoyable. But when it comes to a video game, I'm blocking out everything as it is anyway.
That's the thing. You're able to just concentrate on the game. When you play a game, it's your main focus. Everything else sort of does fall around you, and you're focused.
What if they made a Smash Brothers VR?
I would probably be agitated, but I mean,
He still uses the person he's playing against.
Are we looking at it the same way that you would a normal TV screen? Where
No, you're looking at it through the character's eyes.
then I probably wouldn't enjoy it at all.
No, because
Why is that?
he doesn't know the spatial surroundings then. He'll
Yeah.
only see what the character sees.
Yeah, so I don't have, I wouldn't have confirmation of what's going on behind me at all times. I wouldn't have.
You have to think
okay.
about this. And also, Adam's one of those who, when he plays like in tournament stuff, he sort of tries to figure out the person a little bit too.
A little bit?
I'm being polite. He likes to sort of talk to the people, analyze them, and that's also how he plays. He knows how the person plays. He knows how he plays the character. That's why he needs to that idea. He'll shut down the world, but he still will keep that person active in his mind so he knows how to react to that person.
Yeah.
And that may be just knowing subtle differences of how he controls the character and watching him actually use the character. With this VR, it's going to be a whole immersive thing. He's already done that. He always immerses himself when he plays game. A lot of people can't. They have the outside world they have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
They have, noise, dogs, animals, whatever it is. This way, all your focus, all the attention is on the game or on the video, on whatever it is.
Which maybe that's why I like it.
And yes, and that's one of the reasons why you would like it more, because you like to get distracted quite a bit.
Yes.
So if we put you in this and put like a game that is a horror game or a game that is action, you're just paying attention to that. The world around you has fallen out and you're just focused on that one thing.
I can't wait to get a freaking VR system.
And see, that's why I'm sort of in between. I'm like, I want to see what they can do with it. I mean, it's an interesting idea. I like the aspect, but I'm worried it's going to be like the Virtual Boy or like 3D TVs or anything else.
Have you got to play one yet?
What?
The Oculus Rift?
Nope.
You haven't?
No.
Adam, have you?
I've had the opportunity, but I've never taken it.
Okay. I have.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to change gaming. It's amazing. Okay, you guys know me. I'm not that big of a gamer.
Mm-hmm.
I've played certain games. I like certain games, but this
It's
is
going to open
awesome.
up opportunities, but it's not going to completely change it. There are still 2D games and 2.5D
True.
games.
That
Which is good because
it-
I don't want a giant shift that's going to completely eliminate genres of games.
I
Like
completely
bad.
agree that it's gonna advance it. It's not gonna change it. I agree to that statement, but I don't think you guys can grasp how big this is until you play it. It's so cool. Like okay, back in the day when I was younger, they did have VR systems, but they were really crappy.
Yeah, we all remember those
I've
days.
Played those.
And that put a bad taste in my mouth for the Oculus Rift. I was like, oh, this sounds dumb. And then you would watch YouTube videos of just the two little screens, and you would see the same thing, the same image.
It's not.
I
The
know.
experience is entirely different.
Correct. I agree. But I saw those and I was like, oh, great. It's just another stupid thing that doesn't even line up right, and it's hard to play. And, it wouldn't be cool even if you could add in your peripheral vision. That would be awesome. I was going into this game, or the Oculus Rift, thinking that. I was like, it's going to be impossible to add in, your peripherals and stuff. I put it on. It literally immerses you into that game. It's so weird. Like, it's literally like how I'm looking at you guys right now is what it feels like.
Yeah.
It's so cool. You can see depth. You can feel depth. It's so weird. It's awesome. I've got to
miss
play
seeing
the
depth.
Princess Mononoke, and I got to play some Minecraft, and I got to play, what's that horror one? Labyrinth. Is that it?
Oh, I know what your Maze of Terror, something like that.
It has the one with the gargoyles
Yeah,
in it?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Dude. Dude,
Well, see, that's why
so much fun.
that's why I say it's going to be one that I want to see them improve on it. I mean, I like the idea. I bet you if it does well, it does well. But I'm scared of it being just a fad, like everything else.
I do not see this being a fad.
So I want to see how.
I don't know if
does.
it's because I'm being a fanboy about
Yeah,
VRs,
yeah.
but
Well, for me, yes, it's going to have a different experience because I can already, I can understand and grasp what you're talking about, even without having experienced it. Because all it takes is placing yourself in a position where you're in a completely different viewpoint, blocking out sound and everything else.
And we've done that before. Remember when we play horror games? We turn off the lights, we
Yeah.
make the screen.
it's a completely different.
Yeah, it's an
different
I know
enhanced
it's
version of that.
Yeah, it's a more immersive version
Yes,
of that.
it
yeah.
is. It's amazing.
And-
And I was even playing it in a room, or a giant room full of people, and it still immersed me.
If I enjoyed the type of games that would work well with that system, then I would be more excited about it. But the
Oh,
type
okay,
of games that I enjoy
yeah.
don't mesh with it.
Yeah,
that's
that's-
why I said when it comes to movies, I think I would really enjoy it because it does allow me to have that complete immersion and block out everything and just get into whatever the movie is. But when it comes down to something like you're trying to say Smash Brothers or Kingdom Hearts, if it was done with a controller, could work. The difference is with Kingdom Hearts, you can see your character. I would still want it to be third person. I have always had difficulty with first person. I can't stand not seeing my body.
Let me ask you this: because of first person and playing it on a TV screen and using your controller, and you saying you're having difficult with it, imagine being able to feel the depth though. Like, it changes the experience. Do you think you would like it better then and maybe have able to play it easier?
It would depend. If the ability to quickly grasp additional elements of the surrounding and what is preventing you from moving, yes. But as it stands, when it comes down to first person, I have a lot more difficulty maneuvering around because I can see the wall, but I can't see how large of a character I am. So even though I can see the opening and where I can hide behind the wall, I find myself clanking against the wall as opposed to moving behind it or moving through it.
Well, that's just because you can't feel yourself.
Exactly. And that's not going to change with an
Well-
Oculus. I can't feel the wall.
You'll just have to
see
wait
it.
until they come out with Nerve Gear
Oh god.
Right.
from SAO.
And we'll never get to that point. I really doubt we will get
I
to
don't
that point.
think our generation will.
Yeah, no, I won't live to see whenever we get to the point where we can program our brains.
Even though
Supposedly Japan's working towards that.
even though Japan's already still working on that.
well, we do have the ability to send signals to the brain for light, color, sound, taste, smell.
I was unaware of that.
Yeah, for some patients, you can do an electronic signal that will send even to a blind person will be able to see a color. It's not in depth. You can't, program a pattern, so to speak. Like you can't say this part is white, this part is blue, this part is white.
Mm-hmm.
And just
It's
go
just
on like
you
that.
just see instead
yeah,
of
there,
closing
there is
your
a,
eyes and
there
seeing
is
black.
a color. Yeah.
Yeah, you see blue if you close your eyes or something.
So it's not, to the level of depth because that type of visual context is so detailed in how it would be transcribed to the brain and having a constant changing form of it. You'd have to understand not only how to program that, but how the brain is going to be able to receive that. And then you run into a couple of other questions. How much, when you're getting into that level of detail, how much of that is going to be lost in translation for different people brain types?
Mm-hmm.
You have
And if it'll
Just-
even connect to them.
exactly. Well, it's still going to be an electronic signal that's going to go to the brain. But when it comes down to certain people that have functions that work differently, there are some people who have the math segment connected to another segment of their brain, and so they're able to almost instantaneously do math problems without having to think about it because it's routed into the subconscious segment as opposed to the conscious segment. So if we're running the same programming and kind of sending it to that area of the brain, would a person who has that level of depth get a different image because of how it's programmed? I doubt it, but I'm not a neurosurgeon. So
Sounds like you are.
All right, so let's stop with the deep talk. We were talking VR, now we're talking brain. Let's move
Well,
on.
they're all connected.
Okay, sure. Let's move on to another mind warping thing, which is our anime we've been watching, Erase. We finished the last 2 episodes, the last 2 newest ones. What, 2 nights ago, a night ago?
We caught up. That's the
Yeah, we
important
caught
part.
up.
It was 2 nights ago.
Okay, we've caught up, and of course, it's still being a really interesting series. We still have our predictions of what we think's going to happen next.
Well, I think my predictions have changed slightly.
Okay, okay, so what were the last 2 episodes? Brief summaries.
Brief summary. Let's see. When we last left off, he was in his normal time, and he was getting arrested.
Yes,
And somehow he forced himself back into time because it wasn't going the way he wanted it to. It didn't turn out the way he wanted it to.
Well, he also saw someone in the crowd
Brief
that was
summary.
connected. Okay,
No,
well,
spoilers.
that was
We already-
why he wanted to go
we already
back.
know spoilers are happening here, so it's,
Yeah.
whatever spoilers happen.
But anyway, so he had to force himself back into time, and he got to redo it all. And he was like, "Hey, no holds backs. I don't care if I get killed or whatever. I'm doing this. I'm doing it full blunt version. Whatever. I'm doing it. And he's going around like, "Hey, she's gonna die. Help me." And then,
he didn't actually say that out loud.
Well,
he did say that she's going to get
He only,
murdered.
yeah, but he didn't say it to everyone. I think he just
he only said it to
specified-
Kenya.
Yeah.
yeah.
And do you think there's a catch now? Because this is the first time he actually forcibly told himself to do a revival. Do you think that's going to play a catch on it?
I don't know if he forcefully did it, or maybe the person who's controlling the time jumps, maybe they saw him, was like, "Hey, I'll give him one shot," or something.
Well, there's a couple of different segments to it. He mentioned himself that it's his last revival. So whether or not that's accurate, or if it's just that he's worried that he just got really lucky, he doesn't he can't rely on going back to the past again because he doesn't know how or why he was able to go back in the first place. He just knows that it's happened. And so he needed it to happen at that point. He knew that it was an option, but he doesn't know how. So if he doesn't have the control over it, so it could have just been him making a statement of, "I can't mess up this time. I need to find out what's going on because I can't rely on this." The fact that it's allowed me, twice on this one segment, possibly even a third time. Who knows if he went back in time when he was a kid?
Right.
We don't know how long he's had the power, etc.
And we don't even know when it was activated, really.
Exactly. And then another aspect, if you go back to episode 1, whenever he goes back in time, it comes out neutral or it comes out negative, most likely for him. So if we're going with that theory, then this revival is going to be one of a couple different things. If he forced himself back, what's to pull him back forward? Why did he go back forward the first time? What caused him to...
Maybe he thought he accomplished his goal.
No.
Maybe he was past the date that,
He jumped forward when she died.
Yeah.
So when he was experiencing trauma.
He was
Yeah,
still,
that's right.
yeah, he was still. You're right. When he came back, he knew he was still getting arrested and all that stuff. Nothing changed really.
Well, he was still being hunted for
yeah,
arrest.
he was still
wasn't-
being hunted. The time of the murder still happened, but it was shifted. Remember,
certain things were
shifted.
different.
Yeah.
And
So
so,
he-
it gave him additional information.
Yeah, and he was able to use that and know that he could modify time, modify change to it. And with this episode, so the 2 we saw was him going back, and him, pretty much just not as silent, I guess, would be to changes because he did more.
Not as secretive.
Not as secretive because he did get a partner with this, and he did major things to try to alleviate that almost like time frame he expected would happen by taking what's her name now? What's the female's name he's trying to save?
I don't remember.
Kaya?
Yeah.
Kaya.
No, it starts with an M.
Well, there's 2 names.
Anyway,
The first
yeah.
name
the little girl.
Yes.
It's like Miyoka or something like that.
Okay.
I'll look it up. Don't worry. Keep
Okay.
going.
And they actually take her to a location to try to keep her away from her family and keep from the killer to actually find her. So try much just completely try and change time with that. Don't click any.
talking.
Don't look at the screen. And then at the end of that episode, we saw someone come in, actually drop a bag and kick the box, almost like. And we knew that had to be something because it wasn't one of the kids. It wasn't one of the people who knew where she was located, which led up to episode 8, I believe.
Yeah, and that was when we found out the contents of that bag.
Yep. And we found out that whoever was coming here was using that as a drop-off point, you could call it, for the drop-off of items he's been using to
That's unconfirmed. It was either a drop-off, it was possibly a message. It could also have been a discard. There were at least 3 different possibilities of why he put it there.
Yeah.
Because his objective with all of that gear was the murder that he committed in the 2 previous time frames.
Mm-hmm.
But as to why the school bus had multiple segments of what he used to murder people, that's still a bit unclear.
The girl's name is Kayo Hinuzuki.
I was right.
Yep.
Kayo
Okay.
Hinuzuki.
All right. Well, let's then do a little prediction. What do you guys say is going to happen? Because, as I said, I've read the manga, so I can't say anything.
I've got so many different predictions.
Okay.
Like, it's so...
It's
I don't have
making you
enough
think.
information to fully make my official prediction, but so far I think, the teacher and Kenya are in, they have some kind of connection together. And I think I do think there's more than one person involved with these killings.
Yeah.
I think there is a total of 2, if not 3 people all involved.
That's something that I completely agree with.
And I think, they're all working together. I don't know why they're killing. Maybe it's just because, they're mentally just wrong. But, or maybe there's a reason behind it,
Yeah. It also, the way that Kenya acts, it's hard to say that he's still just a child. It's unclear whether or not he's also able to travel in the past.
Which I think he can.
And then the teacher is kind of being set up to look like the bad guy, but
I think they're just doing that on purpose to throw you off.
Right. And so it's really difficult to say exactly what role he plays. It looks like one of the 2 things will happen. It'll either be revealed that Kenya and the teacher are actually somewhat in a similar situation as not Hanazuki, main character's name?
Satoru?
Yeah. Where they're stuck in, kind of a loop as well. And they're, trying to save people or, not entirely sure what's going on, but they're still trying to do their best with what information they have. Because there is some form of connection between Kenya and the teacher. What that specifically is yet, we don't know.
What do you think about the investigator guy?
The one... Are you talking about the child service guy?
Yes, the guy who we saw in the last episode. Which I think was episode 9? 8?
8. I could see one of a couple different things.
The only reason I'm using that as a speculation is because he's in the intro. I don't know why he's there, but he must have a role, either just being just part of the case, or he might be one of the killers, and that's why he's trying to go around and finding what's going on. He has intel.
Well, a way of tying him in, we don't have enough information for really confirming it yet, or really even giving a whole lot of speculation. But as far as motive goes, if you were talking about someone who's deranged, all it would take is someone who's in the child protective service area getting tired of seeing all of these kids going to an orphanage after orphanage, or adoptive home that has abusive people, or uncles and cousins where it's still an abusive relationship, etc., where the child ends up growing up to be someone negative. So instead of trying to save the children, they're viewing it as saving other people in society from people that grow up negative. So there is definitely a plausibility to him being directly related to it, but it's not something that has any form of evidence to it in the show yet.
Okay. Well,
Um,
all in all, we're enjoying the show. We're going to keep watching until the end. It looks like there's going to be 12 episodes by the looks of that wiki. Okay, I guess we're going to go on to Nerd Stump now. Let's play our game. It's a game. If you guys haven't heard or how to play it, go listen to our previous podcasts. We have explanations there, and we'll play it a couple times. So let's get started. What was the last clue for... You had one that you want to use for last time we played Nerd Stump.
For the listeners.
Yep.
okay. Let's see. Was it?
I think it was a quote from a
I can't even
song.
remember the character.
Yeah. Was it? Even brilliant lights will cease to burn.
That was it.
That was either the third clue or the
Yeah.
here.
Oh, we could give extra one if we
Yeah.
go for it.
I'll give that one, and I'll also give a magnetic personality.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. So do you guys have your characters ready?
I got my character, but I don't really have my clues.
So you want to go last like always?
Sounds good.
Okay, then you want to go me or you, Adam?
Would you exit off of that page, please?
Yes, please.
Well,
I don't know why I said please.
Okay.
Are you reading spoilers or something?
No, I just don't want to, because if I look left and I see words, I will read them.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So me or you, Adam? Who wants to go first?
Go for it.
Okay. Mine is a anime character.
Yay, I might get a point.
Okay. First clue: obsessed with big breasts.
That helps so little.
Okay.
Adds Aru at the end of their sentences.
Okay, this is not a character I'm gonna know.
Ocean blue eyes.
I was gonna say something about free, but no one on that show is obsessed with boobs. No one.
Okay. Crap. I don't know, but there's a couple of guesses in my head right now.
Okay.
Somebody from Umaru-chan. I don't know why I'm thinking that. Maybe just because Aru, at the end of each sentence. I could see somebody being obsessed with big boobs, either be a female or male. When I heard the first clue, being obsessed with big boobs, the anime... what's it called? He's obsessed with panties, and panties are flying.
What?
What is that freaking anime?
Oh, Heaven's Lost Property.
Heaven's Lost Property. Thank you very much. Yeah, I was thinking about him, but then I don't think about the ocean blue eyes.
All right, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I don't know the name of the show. I don't know the name of any of those characters, but I'm gonna go with just the basic anime. That one where basically your entire worth as a human is based on your breast size.
Oh yeah, that one.
Okay, that's your guess. Zach, what's yours?
I guess I will go with the main character from Heaven's Lost Property.
Okay. So
For
that's
right
what both
now.
of you guess? Neither one's correct.
Okay, I figured.
Final clue.
I don't know which one I want to use. If I want to make it easier, sort of easier.
You're probably gonna want to make this easier. I don't think that there's any chance that I even know it.
You normally pick animes that I don't know or haven't seen in forever.
Okay, well, then I'll use this one. Dresses in Chinese clothing and is the first female Shonen Jump character to vomit.
I feel like that actually adds an element where I could almost guess it just by thinking really hard.
You know what's... And I'll get... Never mind. If I say this, then you both will get it.
That's a useful bit of trivia, but I don't know enough detail to be able to say that.
Absolutely nothing is popping in my head.
Wow.
I could see like Dragon Ball Z
Wow,
characters.
both of you. That just saddens me because truthfully, I don't know this character. You guys know it more than I do.
Okay.
Well, it's not somebody from Naruto.
Or One Piece.
It's not somebody from Dragon Ball Z.
What about Bleach?
No. Well, wait. I think it could be. I think that there is a character that vomits in Bleach.
Is she?
I'm not positive if they are... Wait, the vomit thing... That's ringing a bell now, actually. There's a character... What you would think of is the one character that vomits blood from Excel Saga.
right.
That's the only one that I can think of, but that's not a Shonen Jump
and she's
anime.
not wearing a Chinese outfit.
But there's another character that vomits. I'm pretty sure it's in Bleach. If I can think of their name. No, I think that's a guy though. Man, it's been so long since I've watched that.
What about Dragon Ball Z? Is there any character from
no,
Dragon
there's
Ball Z?
no. The closest would be the one that sneezes, and changes gender.
I'll keep going.
Um, I honestly can't think of a character.
What about Ranma 1/2? Anybody from there? I'm trying to
What?
think of like Chinese anime like stuff.
And I don't. That's another thing too. Is that even in Bleach, with characters that do have something close to it, there's nobody that typically is seen wearing Chinese garb.
All right, well, we got to come up with a guess. So, what's your guess?
I'm gonna see if I can come up with a name from that show. Hinamori.
I'm going to go with Kagura. Did I really get that right?
From Gintama?
Yes.
Yes.
Holy crap, that was literally the only... Okay, I know I didn't explain it, but it popped in my head at like almost like the last second. I was like, okay, the only Chinese character that I know that it would vomit would be Kagura from Gintama, just because she's so out there and just... Wow. I can't believe I got that right. That was... I didn't explain anything about it or nothing. That was really weird. Yay, I got the point. Woo!
Yeah. So that's why I was like, you both really.
Holy
I've
crap.
not seen the show.
Well, to be fair, I've only seen 6 episodes now.
You've seen more than I have.
Yeah.
I'm on episode 146.
Precisely why I was like, okay, this one, both of them should.
So that's what was throwing me off, was that she's the first character to puke on screen as a
first
female.
Shonen Jump character.
Oh, for Shonen Jump.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really weird.
That's why I kept saying Jump. I don't even think... Is Bleach Jump?
Bleach's Jump.
Okay.
Yeah, Bleach's Jump. That's really intriguing. Huh.
Mhm.
Yay, I got one right.
Okay.
Finally.
Adam, your turn.
All right. I'm going to go with an anime character.
Okay.
Highly intellectual. Speaks with an air, not of superiority, but speaks with a calm demeanor. And highly skilled.
Lelouch.
Dang it, that's what I was going with.
Could be. So I'm going to probably use that as my guess. That's the only reason, because that was popping up in my head first.
Char, I don't know. He guessed mine.
Oh, yeah. Char would be a decent one. Okay, give me the clues again quickly.
Okay. Right quick, it is an intellectual.
Okay.
Speaks with a calm demeanor. And highly skilled.
I'm going to have to say Lelouch on this
I'm
one.
going to go with what I guessed because you
Char.
took that. Yeah.
And neither of you are correct.
All right, final clue.
All right, I'm going to try to narrow this down a little bit, but not make it overly easy. Drives a mech, but not a giant robot mech.
Okay, first thing's popping in my head is Tenjin Toppa, Gurren Lagann, Simone, but
Not a humanoid mech.
I'm going with
I have
Toko
no
from
idea
Ghost in the
if
Shell.
if I have no idea if that show has anything other than awkward robot things.
you're going with Makoto?
From Ghost in the Shell.
I don't
But
ever remember her riding or driving a mech.
She rode those Tama thingies once in a while.
Okay,
That's still a
so
mech in my eye.
not a humanoid mech. What about Zoids?
That'd actually be closer, but it's not giant or humanoid, but it's mechanical.
Okay, so Power Rangers or Voltrons pop into my head.
Those are giant,
Oh, you said not giant.
not giant.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, let's see. Not giant. What mechs are not giant?
See, that's why I was going.
Is mechanical.
So that's why I was going with that one. Those are big, but they're big as like maybe a truck size.
Mechanical as in there's no electricity whatsoever throughout the mech?
No, it's not a giant mech like you would normally see or think of, and it's not a humanoid.
All right, give me the clues one last time.
Okay, intellectual. Speaks with a calm demeanor. Highly skilled. Operates a non-humanoid, non-giant, mechanical thing.
Huh. Okay. Well, You didn't say it couldn't be like a car or an automobile. Calm demeanor. Oh, man. I'm not. Are you coming up with anything?
That's why I went with that, because I cannot think of anything obvious.
Crap. I don't want to pass on this, but we're running out of time. Nah, I can't think of anything. I'm going to have to pass. Or here, you know what? I'll give it a guess. I will guess. Nothing's popping in my head.
That's why I went with what I got. Which is
3, 2, 1.
Power Rangers. What? That. Oh, dang it. He does.
I got nothing.
All he did, for you guys listeners, you guys couldn't see it, but he stared at my wall, and I've got a Initial D beach towel hung up on the
Yeah, I would have
wall.
never guessed that.
That's fair.
So he's talking about Takumi
I would
from
have
Initial D.
never would have guessed that.
I can't believe I even said car. I was like, you didn't say it's not a car. F me.
The reason that I picked all the clues in that specific way was that I was like, all right, one, he'll either get it or he'll feel really, really bad for not getting it.
I was close.
Yep.
All right, so
Your turn.
for my character, it is a anime video game character.
Okay. Which one did they have first? Or was it more of like a direct tie-in?
I think the video game came out first, but
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
I would have to do my research, and I did not have time to do my research.
You
Okay,
know this is always happening too.
so travels,
Link.
always learning,
Link.
and best friends.
Goku.
Link. I was expecting that.
Mario.
All right, so your face over there looks pretty.
I want to say Link so bad. Okay. Best friends. That doesn't destroy Link as an option, but it shoots it with a lot of arrows.
Tien, anything coming up in your head?
I was going, hold on. Travels,
Best friends.
best friends, and what was
Always learning.
it? Always learning. And you said video game character initially.
I think so, yes.
Potentially.
Yeah. I'm going Mario still.
Okay.
Travels best friend brother, because they do he's always learning different styles, one-ups, skills, and power-ups, and
Link.
travels.
All right, so final answers?
Yes.
Link and Mario?
Yep.
Okay. You're both incorrect.
Okay.
Good, because I did not want you to count what that is as an anime.
Yeah, I don't know why you guys chose those two, because those absolutely, I mean, no anime related.
TV show Mario.
Yep.
That's not anime. I mean, if you want to count it as animation, I'm counting it as anime.
The one.
Japanese made anime.
All
All right.
keep going. Just keep going before we both look at you.
How easy should I give this away? Final clue. Terrible harem.
Still want to say Link. Okay.
These might be bad clues, so I am sorry in advance.
Anime video game character that's a harem?
Anime TV show might help.
Oh, okay. It's if I can remember the name of that bad TV show's main character, Sword Art Online's main character, whose name is
Oh, I'm still going to give it to you.
Kyoto? No.
Close.
Oh my god.
Sailor Moon, then, because he's close.
So you say Sailor Moon?
I just because he knows
What
it.
games did Sailor Moon have?
She had a Super Nintendo game. She had a Nintendo game. I think she didn't even have a Game Boy game. I know she had a Super Nintendo RPG game. I played it. It was fun.
Adam, you're thinking of Kirito.
Thank you.
See, right?
No.
Oh,
Okay. And
Right.
also, that one is definitely anime first, and if there's a
Yes.
video game of it,
oh, okay. I
They're
thought.
bad.
Okay, then I was
Actually, I've heard the video games are actually really fun.
doing a VR sample of it.
Yep.
okay. The what I've heard from it sounds bad.
All right. So you guys are both wrong again. The answer is Ash Ketchum.
The fact that
Travels.
you're counting that as a harem.
I said terrible harem. He never gets the girls.
That's true, but
But
he also hasn't
how
even
many-
hit puberty.
How many? That's arguable.
He should have hit puberty, but it's obvious he hasn't hit puberty.
You've watched so many animes and you count his harem as a harem. It's like one person each. He doesn't have any conflict with that. Travel.
there's not even a love triangle.
yes.
There are a couple of
There's literally a one-way. Girl might be interested in him for reasons completely unknown.
I had to come up with stuff on the spot. Come on, guys.
And you.
You could have put best friend is a rat as the last clue.
Yeah,
I was
and
trying
also
not to give it
and
away.
also anime. If it's Ash, it is anime because Ash is not the original player.
Oh,
Ash is
that's
never-
right. Red.
Yes,
and-
that's why I'm
yeah.
also confused because we're going.
And to be
Well,
fair,
I am sorry for my bad clues.
Which is mean like
but to
that.
be fair though, he was right. Video game did come first.
Yes, real game
Yay.
came first, but that character never existed in the game.
I'm just agitated because harem part. That's not no.
Well, that was my final clue. So
Okay, fine. Okay, okay,
If
Should've
it was
got-
a harem, it would be a terrible harem.
should have got it the first time.
okay then. Okay, so let's
So that was our game, Nerd Stump.
Okay, so let's do our weekly one,
Yep.
which I have right here.
Okay.
Okay.
I always end
All right.
way too soon.
Okay, so first clue,
I finish fast.
one of the hardest games ever produced.
Yep.
Adam, you got a second clue?
I'm gonna go with surprisingly magical abilities, considering not specifically a magical type of class or character.
Okay, Zach, do you want to do one
Is the third one out already?
of?
Of the character that we're doing?
That's debatable.
That's debatable. We'll explain later. Okay,
Okay.
do you want to do a third one?
Well, that's what I was gonna use as is. Anyway,
Okay.
Potentially has 3 and or more games. That doesn't know.
that
that's
aren't
bad.
directly in his lineage of games too.
Yeah. No, they're not gonna.
stealth.
That's not a good clue.
Yeah.
Stealth.
Sure. that-
Yeah. Okay.
No, that's a bad clue. It's a bad clue. Bad
is?
clue. Yeah, that's a bad clue. You're not giving clues.
Wow.
You don't get a clue on this one. You don't know the character well enough.
Fine.
Is surprisingly surrounded by large breasts more consistently than you'd think.
Wait a minute. Really?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to go play this.
You're not okay. I'll explain later.
okay.
Okay. And then the answer to last time's Nerd Stump is
Pyrrha!
there. We go
From Ruby.
from Ruby. Okay.
Rest in peace.
If you guys did not get that because of the last clue, shame on you.
All right. Now talking about companies and games, gaming section, and lovely Nintendo.
It's gonna have to be quick.
It'll be a few minutes.
We're
Okay.
running out of time.
Okay, this will be our last thing. So Nintendo, we posted a rumor. We're gonna call it a rumor because it's still not confirmed about some information about the next Zelda game.
To be fair, that's stuff that I called out months ago.
Yeah, but it's still a rumor, so I can't confirm.
Yeah,
We
no,
can't-
it's a rumor, but it's not like if someone's claiming it as a leak, that's something that people could have called easily. That this is information that, based on Nintendo's history, is obvious.
okay.
I'm gonna sit back and watch you guys bicker because I know you guys are gonna fight
Okay.
against this one.
Okay, so basically, there was a leak out that says that this coming winter, they'll most likely move the next Zelda game into a NX exclusive.
Yep.
They're going to also release the NX this winter, 2016. And what was the third thing?
The other part is that Smash Brothers is going to be a launch title or very close to it.
Yeah, which I didn't want to say because I thought Smash came out so soon. I didn't think they would do that to try to
Yeah,
give leeway.
but look at everything that's going on with it. Like when they announced the end of the DLC, they're not going to be doing any more announcements for it. It's one of the things that sold the system even better than Mario Kart. It would only make sense to have another one on your next system to boost sales initially
But
for it, so
why-
that people will be buying more of your games.
But with what's coming out this year, we got the VRs. They're they're going to announce all this stuff.
Yay,
if they-
VRs.
If they're going to do anything, E3, they don't even have an E3. It's going to be a Nintendo Direct around that time frame. Yes, I can see why the Zelda is. It would be a good, strong starting point. It would be a Nintendo exclusive that can sell a lot. But as I said, I don't know. We could take this as a grain of salt because we don't know what Nintendo's really thinking.
And to be fair, the production time for a new Smash Brothers game, it does seem a little bit early if they're planning on releasing it this year. I would say that the next one wouldn't be until next year.
This is also why I said that I wouldn't even consider it, is because the original creator is done with it.
Well, yeah, but okay, think about it this way. If you're running a company and you've got 3 things that keep you afloat,
Yeah.
those things are Mario, Smash Brothers, and Pokemon.
Yeah.
Smash Brothers sells you systems, Pokemon sells your systems, Mario sells on all the systems you've sold.
Well, Zelda.
Period. Well, yeah, Zelda helps, but as far as like unit sales, like what sells the system, Zelda typically hasn't sold the systems.
It's the
but
bump.
It definitely builds a lot of profit. So
It helps.
Yeah.
I would say that's number 4 in my 3 listed categories.
May Metroid rest in peace.
Yeah.
And what else needs to rest in peace? Let's see what other things have.
Banjo Kazooie.
What needs to rest in peace?
No,
Sonic.
Yeah, that's true. They're going to try again, though. Oh, God, live action movie.
They need to come out with a new Pokemon Snap with the NX. Dude, you know how much they would sell?
If they were going to do a Pokemon Snap, the best one to beat would be
It's
mixing Pokemon Go with the
with that,
3DS.
yeah. That's what it's
Oh.
going to be.
Or
And-
mixing a Pokemon Go with your cell phone.
And also,
It would be
Banjo
taking pictures of
Kazooie
Pokemon
is
Go.
now rare, and it's on Xbox.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I can see what Nintendo's trying to do. I understand what you're saying. It's just I just don't want them to follow Konami's path. That's what I'm worried about.
No, this isn't any different than what Nintendo's done plenty of times before. Let's give an example. When the GameCube came out, they launched Smash Brothers Melee. That was a launch title for the system,
Yes,
or
but
within the first week or 2.
Yeah, but that had how much gap from the previous Smash was it?
That one was actually the smallest gap between Smash Brothers games.
Really?
Yeah.
How,
There was 7 years between Melee and Brawl, and then about another 7 years between Brawl and Smash 4. But between those two, Smash Brothers for the
Dang.
64 came out towards the end of its lifespan, and Melee came out right at the beginning of the GameCube.
That makes 64 sound old. I mean, it is, but
Yeah, I mean there's
sound like-
huge gap.
yeah. Yay, 64.
And then all right, if let's just throw this into a perspective. So if any of us here were in control of Nintendo, what would you look at in terms of how to progress from where you are now?
I would hire an accountant.
Okay. Right.
And I
So
would hire
okay,
a lawyer.
I'll go through it from
okay,
my
I see.
perspective.
Yeah, you're right. 2-year gap. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a 2-year gap. That would make sense.
So, what sold majority of Wii U's? The initial launch had a decent number, but they dwindled and game sales were pretty minuscule overall. Then they came out with Mario Kart. That sold a lot of the systems that they had sold.
Excuse me,
Sorry. They sold a lot of the systems. The rest of that was irrelevant. But anyway, the next segment was Smash Brothers for the Wii U. That one sold the remaining amount of systems that have sold, and basically no more Wii U's are going to sell because anybody who's going to be purchasing a game that's going to be on the Wii U already owns one. There aren't going to be any more system sales for the Wii U, even if they make another Zelda title. Or there will be, but it's going to be minuscule in comparison. So delaying the next Wii U or the next Zelda title in the series to the NX as a way of selling systems for it, making another Mario game, because you can make another one of those in a year pretty easily. And then, okay, well, probably 2 years, but short time frame, short notice, blah, blah. Then having Smash Brothers title follow shortly after that. There you would have the majority of your system sales. I would get developing another Mario Kart game, and right there you have your system sales, and then you have your main key hitters right off the bat, and then everyone who's going to buy the system has it, so it's a lot easier for them to buy the games.
So it's pretty much all going to be first party, not any third party like it's been with the Wii U.
They'll still have third party, but as far as it
Because-
goes for what sells their system,
Because
it's their games.
I know, but I think, as I said, the third party was a big factor in why this one Wii U didn't do well too, and we've seen that because the things that sell is the first party, but they couldn't incorporate any third party into it.
Well, with the NX, the system should be getting caught up to what the Xbox One and the PS4 run at, because the Wii U also.
Do you want
had a
that complete touchscreen controller?
No, I want a tactile controller. I want one that has buttons and a joystick and a D-pad.
Supposedly, it's all touchscreen.
Okay, well, let's just ignore the fact that I probably won't buy it if that's the case.
And like at least this what makes me nice is one of the first release titles for the NX is supposedly going to be a Dragon Quest game, and that's big in Japan. That's
Yeah,
going to help.
that'll help sell it in
Yeah.
Japan. Legend of Zelda will help sell it in both. Is Zelda bigger in states? I'm pretty sure.
Yes, it is bigger in
Okay.
states.
But same with Metroid too, which is kind of interesting.
And that's why we're saddened of what they've done with it.
Yeah, I mean when they take a thing that sells better in the West and then give it a
Chibi 5 version?
ridiculously heavily Eastern storyline with a
No.
lot of misogynistic tropes.
Wait. Are you talking about that one, or are you talking about what are going to do with Zelda? I mean, no, Metroid with the...
You mean the game that doesn't have Samus?
Yes.
We haven't had that one released yet, so I can't bash it. I can bash the last one that put Samus into a coffin. This one's just going to be the nails in the coffin.
Okay, well, looks like we're going to have to cut our conference short. We may carry on later, but final thoughts. So, Zach, you got any final thoughts?
Watch Gintama. It's awesome.
That would make me want to say watch One Piece. It's awesome, too.
Nah. Gintama's way...
Watch Ruby.
There you go. Well, okay.
Watch Erased.
No, watch Ruby.
Watch Psycho Boys.
We would argue.
No.
Okay. That's we're gonna say just watch a lot of stuff. We keep saying, okay, guys. So
No, I stand by mine. Watch Ruby. And
Okay.
don't watch Secco Boys.
Final thoughts for you, Adam?
Watch Ruby.
final thoughts for me. I think supposedly by what analysts are saying, the PS4 will be the sixth system to reach over 100 million units sold.
Nice.
So,
Cool.
all right. So,
Oh, yeah. I guess I could
yeah,
say these things,
yeah,
huh?
you can.
Hey, if you guys want to follow us on Facebook, you can by going to facebook.com/nerdlagpodcast. If you guys want to go to SoundCloud, you can go to soundcloud.com/nerdlag. And if you want to find us on YouTube, which most of you guys probably listen to us on YouTube already, you can go up to the search bar, type in Nerdlag, and find our channel and listen to our episodes there. You can also go to our Twitter account at Nerdlag And we also have our own website, www.wordpress.com or .nerdlag.com.
It's on a hold mode. Okay, so want to say your final thing before we head out?
I love you.
Okay.
Hey
Oh gosh.
guys, I'm nerdy, dirty, and flirty.
All right, and remember, don't regret the things that you do. Regret the things that you don't.
Bye guys.
Meep.